In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to have complete control of what is spawning on a certain class of NPCs. So for example, let's assume you have 3,000 weapon mods and you want them to work perfectly together. You want to have control of what is spawning on raiders, on the gunners, on the enclave, and so on. You could rely on two methods. The method number one is the leveled lists, which is the one that the game is using. The problem is that if you have 10 mods loaded, the one that loaded at the bottom will rule on the according leveled list, because since the raiders all use certain amount of leveled lists, and all the mods need to inject their weapons into the same level list. So all the mods will alter that specific level list in a different way, and only the one at the bottom will rule. This means that you will lose all the items that should be provided by the mods on the top. That's why most of the mod authors use the script method. They inject their weapons without touching the level lists. But this way you need to rely on their scripts, and you have no idea whatsoever what those scripts are doing and how they will try to implement those weapons in the game. You just have a bunch of weapons spawning everywhere without having the possibility to choose what weapon is spawning on what NPC. That's why I suggest you to act this way. You download all of the weapon mods you want in your game. Then you follow this tutorial to learn how to use merge plugins with just one little
Simply place the
difference.
content.
When you'll get to this point, and you follow this video and you'll get to this point, as soon as you click on detect integrations, it's not going to work. You're going to have just these two. And remember, you won't find this one, the Elder Scroll Papyrus flag. You won't find it in Fallout 4, and this tutorial doesn't solve the problem, so you won't be able to get forward. There are a lot of questions in the internet on how to solve this. The solution, when you'll get here, is to go Fallout 4 data, scripts, source, base. You won't have anything here, just base zip. You unzip this, you will have this one, Institute Papyrus flag, and you'll manually put the Institute Papyrus flag in here, and you'll be able to use merge plugins. So you learn how to use merge plugins, and you will just merge all of your weapon mods into one gigantic merged mod. So with this one, I spent just one activator, because the limit is 254. The game can't have more than 254 activators, ESPs or ESMs, loaded at once. So we're just using one slot. I'm activating all of these weapons inside my game. So once you're done with this, you could use the creation kit to work on the leveled list. Unfortunately, every time I put all the weapons into one leveled list, my creation kit not only crashes, but destroys completely the file I'm editing. That's why I'm forced to use Fallout Edit. You load Fallout Edit, you load the weapon you want to use, the weapon mod you want to use. First of all, you must understand more or less which level lists are the NPCs using, because the only way to get it done clearly is editing the level lists. So you have just one mod that touches all the leveled lists. So you go to Fallout 4 ESM, non-player character, sort by editor ID. Usually the NPCs spawn with the prefix ENC. boss. Let's say we want to add, you see the gunners, the Minutemen. Let's say we want to talk about raiders. These are all the raiders that will spawn in your game. So for example, these are the names that you will see in game. This is a raider. This is a perk that they have to, because it's corresponding to your perk cards in game, more or less. You can change this if you want, their stats. This is what you find on them and what they have. So pretty much all the raiders, as for the weapons, use these sort of leveled lists. This means that the raider's cover, when he spawns, it will have the weapons decided by this leveled list. For example, even raider survival list, the level list is pretty much the same. So we go to the level lists, LLI. This is the level list for the vendors. You can do the same. You can do the same from the armors, of course, for the chems. You should do that if you want complete control of your game. These are all the level lists that are equipped by raiders. So for example, there is not a conflict here because this one will just spawn on top of this. These are the mods, 1, 2, 3, 4, that edit the same level list. So for example, if you have 50 weapon mods active, most likely you will have 50 different mods editing the same level list, and most items will be red, will be displayed in red. This means that they won't appear in your game. So what you want to do is to create your own level list. So you go to your weapon mod, leveled item. Of course I merged all the weapons. So these are the weapons that I have in my game. And I renamed them. I renamed their editor ID according to where I want to put them. So I want just certain weapons to spawn on the raiders, and certain weapons to spawn on the gunners. So I just to find them all at once, A is the ones that I'm going to put on the raiders, B, the ones I'm going to put on the gunners, and then Enclave, Brotherhood of Steel, Boss, and so on. Because I don't want certain specific energy weapons to spawn on the raiders or on the gunners. I want just some, let's say, crappy weapons to spawn on the raiders, and some high-tech, just still bullet-relying weapons to spawn on the gunners, just heavy guns to spawn on the Brotherhood of Steel, and high-tech weapons to spawn on the Enclave. So just to make your work easier, you rename the editor to find them all together, divided by class, and then you go back to your list. You must create them, these two, anew. Again, you could just open the creation kit if it works for you. You create new level list, you just select all the weapons and you drag them inside, and you're done in 2 seconds. Problem is, as soon as I try to save, my creation kit crashes and my ESP gets completely wiped. So I can't do that. So manually, you need to get here, add, yes, I'm absolutely sure, and then I was adding all of these, and you start adding them basically one by one, pretty much. I was here, so now I add this one, FNP90. I want, if someone spawns with this, it will use how many? Just one. from level 1, because basically I want all the raiders to spawn since level 1 with all the weapons, as a matter of realism. I don't want it to be like, oh, I'm level 5, so every enemy is level 5. Oh, I'm level 10, so every enemy is level 10. It's fucking bullshit. And you continue like this, adding all of them. Scar H. You need to do it one by one. Then you go to Fallout 4. You pick the leveled list you want. Copy as override into your mod. I've already done it. So your mod now, I did it with this. So your mod now, this one, because I copied this as override into my mod. Your mod edits at the moment the level list the same way it's edited by the plugin you've grabbed this one from. So my mod has a copy of the default stuff that happens in Fallout 4. Just touched this before, but it should be like this. Of course, this is what I was telling you before. These things won't show at all. So what you need to do now is to go here and select all. These are the names of the ones I have. Since it's raiders, I want all raider weapons. At level 1, I don't know if you have to do it for all the levels, but I'd honestly do it for level 1, for level 14, for level 22, 28, and so on. How many items will the spawned raider pick from this list? 2. Let's say 2. So at the moment, of course, delete all the rest. So at the moment, all the raiders using this leveled list, when spawning, will pick 2 randomly chosen weapons out of this one, which adds gigantic amount of diversification to your game, because, and this is basically the key what we want to do, because in this list I have created, there are 173 different weapons. So with this method, every time a raider spawns, he will randomly pick and have with him 2 of these weapons. 2 out of these. I hope this helped you, and enjoy.